Hello and welcome to Point Blank.
I'm Celene.
And I'm Kailing.
That's right, and here with us today are two gentlemen. Dr. Joseph here, who specializes in aesthetics medicine, and we have Jake Tan, who is a student and a part-time model.
That's right. Today we're going to talk about metrosexuals, or what we at Razor TV would like to call the soft men.
That's right. So, let's see. Soft men, are they men with good taste or masculinity in bad taste? Well, we'll let you decide for yourselves by the end of the show.
Yep, but before we go any further, let's take a look at what being a metrosexual is all about.
That's right, way back in the 90s, vanity was already not a woman's prerogative. In 1994, British journalist Mark Simpson coined the term metrosexual. So who qualifies as a metrosexual? A single young man with a high disposable income living or working in the city. In the 80s, he was only to be found inside fashion magazines such as GQ, in television advertisements for Levi's jeans, or in gay bars. In the 90s, he's everywhere and he's going shopping. So what makes a metrosexual of the new millennium? We think the answer is all of the above, and you get extra points if you look like this. But you don't have to be born beautiful. What nature doesn't bestow, nurture can help fix, or so the beauty and fashion industries want you to believe. Just take a short walk down Orchard Road and you'll be spoilt for choice. Fashion labels seem to have all the answers, from preppy to business-like to beachwear. And if you still think skincare is only reserved for women, they will convince you otherwise. And magazines remind you that you can still be a jock if you want, but don't forget to wash, tone and moisturize after. After all, it's not about being less macho, but about having the best of both worlds. Look at Beckham, for example. Men want to score like him both on and off the pitch. Or George Clooney. Despite the makeup and manicured brows, he is still Danny Ocean. And who wouldn't want that in a man?
So, do you think that's a fair description of a metrosexual?
What do you
Our
guys
two
think?
guests, yes.
Yep, I think it's a really good description of a metrosexual.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think so?
Why do I think so?
Yeah.
Because no, but minus the part where you have a high disposable income. That's subjective. That's subjective. Apart from that, I think your definition was okay.
Mm-hmm. Joseph, what do you think?
I wholly agree with Jake. You don't require a high disposable income to be a metrosexual. Basically, it's just about taking good care of yourself.
Right.
Just personal grooming and hygiene. Basically, I suppose that kind of defines a metrosexual.
Making do with what you have,
That's
right?
right.
With the limited
Best, yeah, that's right.
Limited resources.
That's right.
So you are a doctor. So, what are some of the advice that your patients seek when they come over to you?
Advice?
Yeah. I mean, do you charge a lot in the first place? Are your patients very, with high disposable income?
Not at all. We see all kinds of patients. A large group, they are students.
Oh, students!
Students,
Serious?
yeah. They
Okay.
come for acne problems or just for oily skin rejuvenation and stuff like that.
So the sessions are paid for by their parents or by themselves?
Some of them actually are accompanied by their parents, so they have the full support of parents. In fact, many of them are. Some of them are brought down by their girlfriends.
Girlfriends? Girlfriends or
yeah.
boyfriends? Rich girlfriends. Oh, interesting.
Usually it's half. I mean, some of them, 50%. Well, yeah. Either group can have acne problems.
Okay.
But most of them are, well, I don't know who pays for what, but...
Okay, maybe, what do you guys think? Do you think it's become more acceptable? Like, in the video said, it sort of all started in the 90s, and now, in the 80s they do this, in the 90s they do this, and now it's sort of all of the above. So do you think it's become more acceptable, and is it sort of, did the media help to make it that way?
Or do you think it's just a means of survival? I mean, like men are keeping up with changing times. What do you guys think?
I guess for a start, as time probably what we see in the media, all right, really influences what we define as a metrosexual. Last time, a metrosexual doesn't go for facial, but now he does. Maybe in the future, he might go for much more.
Right.
So ultimately, it's about personal grooming. Okay, as technology advances, we can improve the quality of our lives. So why not indulge in some of them?
Good
He'll
point.
make a good customer for you, Joseph.
Yeah, with a discount, of course.
No, but Joseph, like just now Jake mentioned, eventually maybe next time men would actually go for much more. But they are already going for much more, aren't they?
Yeah.
Have you been seeing more men coming to your practice?
I think about 30% of my clientele are actually males.
Was it lower before?
Has there been
What,
a
10?
significant increase?
I think in the past it was traditionally you would expect maybe about 5-10% of our clientele to be men and the rest to be women.
And this was just in the last few years, was it?
Last 2 years.
Last couple of years.
You see more and more men coming up, and like what I said before, they not only come on their own. They sometimes they're brought along by their wives even. So I think society as a whole is beginning to accept the concept of metrosexuals.
Right.
Yeah.
What are the sort of your client demographic like?
From the 20s into the 40s age group.
40s?
40s, 50s, yeah.
40 is like those who are undergoing like what, midlife crisis? Maybe or
Not really.
Not
That's when,
necessarily, right?
that's
I
when
mean-
the males start to see sun damage, pigmentation problems, and that's when the deep lines start forming.
Right,
And that's when they start to have Botox, as opposed to younger guys in the 20s. It's mainly for acne problems, acne scar problems. So it's a different set of problems they face.
Oh, so the different
Yes.
age groups go for different types of services
That's
depending
right.
on the cost as well.
That too.
I mean, how much
That
is
too.
a Botox injection? I mean, like typically, how much does it cost?
It depends on the practice you go to. It can range.
Keep it,
It ranges, let's say, for Botox for a set of eyes, for the crow's feet, anywhere from $200 to $350.
Okay.
And are these
in
some
most
of the more common treatment men go for, like you mentioned before, oily skin, and then older men, it's
The
Botox?
most common ones would be things like Botox, as I mentioned before, for deep lines and wrinkles, fillers for nasal bridge enhancement to make the nose bridge look higher, more defined, more masculine. Fractional lasers for scars.
Okay.
For scars.
Right. Jake, have you actually personally gone for any of these aesthetic treatments so far?
No, but I've gone for facial. If that's what you're asking.
Would you consider going for it, or are you open to the idea of going for such treatments if you could afford it as a student?
Well, like what Dr. Joseph said, his patients are normally consist of people with acne problems. So for me personally, as long as my face is okay, I do go for facial to remove the oil, clots, white spots, whatever. But that's about.
How often
That's
do you
good
go for facials?
When I see my face starting to
Give way.
give probably around maybe 3 months, once every 3 months.
Do you think that's a reasonable frequency for a guy?
Again, subjective, but for me, I think it's okay.
You think it's okay? All right. Does your girlfriend have any issues with you going for facial? Do you guys go together, maybe? You and your girlfriend?
Not really. She goes and do her manicure.
Manicure. Do you join her with that?
No.
No?
But
Okay, Jake, we know you go for facials and you take care of yourself. A lot of men, I think they sort of draw a line somewhere.
Okay.
Like, I'm never going to go for a wax or something like that. So where is your line?
where is my line?
Yeah, where do you
That's
draw
right.
the line? What treatment will you not go for that would cross the line from being metrosexual to, I don't know what's the other term, but
The hard man. Right.
I guess because I'm a fan of natural beauty, so I guess I won't go to the extent of plastic surgery, and also let's say to inject myself with what do you call that performance enhancing drugs to beef
to-
myself up.
okay.
Yeah, to improve my physique.
Physic, yeah.
So Botox?
Botox.
Not bad.
It's too early to tell.
Too early to tell.
All right, now Joseph, I have this burning question
Yes.
inside me. Have you personally undergone any of these aesthetic treatments that you offer to your patients before?
$1 million question.
No, surely.
Surely, like
Yeah,
what?
sure.
Tell us, enlighten us. What have you done to yourself?
Simple things like IPLs, like laser treatments, just for skin rejuvenation.
Okay,
Yeah,
anything else?
I suppose as I become a bit older, I'm open to the idea of other stuff like Botox and fillers too. Yeah.
You haven't tried Botox yourself?
Uh,
That's quite hard to believe, you know. I mean, judging by how creaseless your forehead is.
no, that's not true. Not yet. Soon, I suppose. Soon.
Okay,
soon,
when
soon.
we say aesthetic treatments, do we just refer to the face or any other parts of the body?
Do
Some
guys
come
go
for
and put like calf implants? Because I've heard of that before.
Or lipo even?
okay, that would fall more under plastic surgery,
Okay.
as in for implants. But we have men coming for fat reduction in the tummy area.
Mesotherapy.
Um,
or is that a
we
different
no longer
thing?
do that anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. It's new guidelines, but things like radio frequency, like ultrasound, they do help to contour the body.
Do you have any like regular customers that keep like coming back?
Sure.
I mean, we don't want to
Sure.
reach like
Yeah.
doctor-patient
Yeah.
confidentiality, but like, can you give us an example of maybe an outstanding case that you helped make better?
So I have a patient who comes every week for a different treatment.
Oh my goodness! But would you? How do you? I mean, have you ever like identified a patient who is sort of addicted? I don't know what's the term,
Yeah.
medical term to use. You know, people who overdo it or who overstep the border as to whether or not it's normal to is it medically required? I mean, adequate to go for such treatments, or are they really just overdoing it? Or
As long as it doesn't become dysfunctional, as in it doesn't impair their lifestyle. I mean, it doesn't affect their work, their family relationships, and it's safe for them. That's fine. That's fine by us.
But you would have patients who come in and
Yeah.
go like, Dr. C, I think I need to like do something here, and then you go like, it's okay, what?
Well, in those cases, then we have to very nicely turn the patients down, because otherwise it would be a bit irresponsible of us to administer those treatments if they don't need it.
Okay. We've heard what everyone sort of think about metrosexual. We'll come back in a bit and tell you what people on the streets think.